to School Easy. In this video, we will learn to simplify calculations. This is mainly targeted at grade 9 and 10 students. In this question, the volume of the dome of a sphere is given and the area should be found. Now, volume of the dome, as we know, is 4 by 3 pi r square, pi r cube. We have to find r and then we can find the area. Now, how do we find r? Take r cube to one side, move all the numbers to the other side. Now we have numbers like this: 4851 times 3 times 7 divided by 4 into 22. Do not multiply all the numbers and then find a big number in the numerator, another number in the denominator, and don't try to divide that and then find cube root. You have learnt in grade 8 how to find square root and cube root. Split the numbers into factors. Now you see 3 and 7 are prime numbers. 4851 is odd, cannot be divided by 4. But if you look at 22, factors of 22 are 11 and 2. So check if 4851 can be divided by 11. It is divisible. So divide 4851 and 22 by 11. Now your numbers have become smaller. Again, we want to find cube root. So some number will repeat thrice both in the numerator and in the denominator so that we can get a cube root. Do not multiply the numbers that you see. Split 441 into its factors. 441 is a square of 21. Even if you don't know by memory, split it into factors. You know to do that. You have done that in smaller classes. Now that we have, it's 21 times 21. Again, split 21 into its factors. If you see, 21 has 7 and 3. You see, 7 is being repeated, 3 is being repeated. So in the numerator, you have 7 repeated thrice. When you do cube root, you will get 7. You have 3 repeated thrice. When you do cube root, you will get 3. And the denominator, you have 4 times 2, which is 8. Split the 4 as 2 into 2, cube root of that is 2. So r is 21 by 2, 10.5 centimeter. It's very easy to do if you divide all the numbers and split them into factors. Now you can find the area of the dome. Next question is similar. Surface area of a sphere is given. Apply it in the formula. Take r square to one side, all the numbers to the other. Do not start multiplying 2464 into 7. Try to divide it with 4 or with 22. It is divisible by 22. Right in one step, you get 112 times 7 by 4. Again, do not multiply 112 into 7. Divide it by 4, you will get 28 into 7. Split 28 into factors, you have 7 into 4 into 7. Square root 7 is 7, square root 4. Square root 7 into 7 is 7, square root 4 is 2. You get r. Simplify your calculations. Do not complicate it. This is a board question, 2025 or 2024. Look at this. It's just a 1-mark question. It's like an MCQ. If you have to find the slant height of the conical part, you know that you have to use the Pythagoras theorem. So you need the height of the conical part and the radius. Radius is given, it's 14 meters. Height of the conical part is total height minus height of the cylindrical part. So that becomes 10.5 meter. Now to find slant height, when you do Pythagoras theorem, are you going to do 14 square and then 10.5 square and add those numbers? 14 square, even if you know from memory, 10.5 square, you have to work it out. Remember, this is just a 1-mark question. This is a complicated way of doing. After having worked out 10.5 square, you add and you get this decimal number. Are you going to find square root of this for the slant height? You're complicating it. Look at the easier way. 10.5 is a multiple of 3.5. Problems regarding circle. When you use pi, 22 by 7. 7 is in the denominator. Look at your numbers. 3.5 is half of 7. If you go by the table of 3.5, it's 3.5, 7, 10.5, 14, 17.5, 20, 21, 24.5, 27, and so on. You will have such numbers in your question. You should be able to divide by 3.5. 10.5 is 3.5 times 3. So you see, from 14 square, you get 14 as 3.5 into 4. So 14 square is 3.5 square into 4 square. 10.5 square is 3.5 square into 3 square. 3.5 square is common, take it out. You have 4 square plus 3 square, which is a Pythagorean triplet. That is 5 square. You don't need to square anything because it is slant height square. You have to find square root. What is square root of this finally? Plain 3.5 into 5. There was no need to do any complicated calculation as was done above. This is mental calculation question. It's just 1 mark. CBSE expects you to do it like this. That is the reason it's been given only 1 mark. This is a question from grade 7. I'm going back to the basics. To use distributive property, use it everywhere as was done in the previous question. If you want to find the area of the region in yellow, are you going to find area of outer circle, area of inner circle and subtract? You will get answers in decimals. Again, use distributive property. Pi is common to both. Take it out. R square of outer circle minus R square of inner circle. This is identity A square minus B square. Simply do A plus B into A minus B. 10 plus 4, 14. It is divisible by 7. You get a round figure. And a very easy way to calculate. Now look at this question. Here, remember, when you have two unknowns, you will have two equations. Okay? If you have three unknowns, you need three equations to solve. Number of equations is equal to number of unknowns, only then it's possible to solve. So here two equations, two information is provided and your two unknowns are the R and H. But the tricky part here is both the unknowns are in the same equation. So you have to use both of them together to solve it. How do you do it here? You divide one equation with the other. The R and H will get cancelled out when you divide volume by CSE. Then you have only R in the numerator and 2 in the denominator, and you have a numerical value on the right side. Now you can calculate R, substitute in one of the formulas, find H. Again, when you are trying to find H, now look at this. When you use CSA 2 pi RH, keep H to one side, take all the numbers to the other side. Don't start multiplying everything. Cut it out, reduce. You can cut 1320 with 22. You can cut it with 4. You can cut it with 2. Reduce it. Best to reduce by the biggest number. 1320 by 22 is 60. 60 by 4 is 15. 15 into 7 by 2. Then in the end you can check your answer by substituting these values of R and H in the volume. There are questions where volume of cylinder is surmounted by a hemispherical dome, calculate total volume. Remember, write down the formulas. When you write the formula, you see pi, R and H are common. Use the distributive property. Take them out common and all you have is R plus 2 inside. Calculations become easy. If you do pi R square H once, then 2 pi R H and then add them separately, your calculation becomes way more and more complicated. In the other way, you might just cut out some numbers. The numbers will be such that you can cut them out and reduce. Okay? Do not make complicated calculations. Use the identities and distributive property a lot. This is just general information. In an isosceles right angle triangle, when the two sides are equal, means when the angles are 45 degrees, the hypotenuse is always root 2 times the side. Or in a square, the diagonal is root 2 times the side. The equation formula is very simple. See, AC square is twice of the side square. So you get 2 into x square and AC is root 2x. So if x is 5, AC will be root 2x. The diagonal will be root 2x. This is how you get the side root 2 for a 45-degree triangle. Sine of 45 and cos of 45 is 1 by root 2 because root 2 is the hypotenuse. Okay. So these can be MCQ questions. If the uh, hypotenuse is given and you want to find the side, and if it's a right angled isosceles triangle, only then divide the hypotenuse by root 2, you will get the side. If the side is given, multiply it with root 2, you will get the hypotenuse. If you have any complicated questions that you think are difficult to solve, there are you know the formulas, you know how to substitute, but you're just struggling with calculations, please let me know. Add it in the comments. If possible, I'll try to solve it for you. In my earlier video, I had suggested doing section A in the beginning in a short while, 10 to 15 minutes. But if section A is your weak point, you still take a lot of time to solve it. And you solve those 1 mark questions not mentally, but by working out like a 2 or 3 mark question, then there are 20 questions you will waste a lot of time on it. And if you make too many mistakes in this, you will lose marks. Then it's better that you do section A in the end if it is your weak point. Always do the sections that is your strong point in the beginning and the ones that you take less time for. Okay, try to complete as much as possible in minimum time. Because now that you have solved several board papers, you know which is your strong point. Are you better at section E or are you better at section A? Go in the order which is your strong point and time the sections. Try to limit all your sections within half an hour. If you're stuck on any questions and you're not able to solve it, don't sit and brood over it and waste your time. Leave space, go to the next question. If some question works you up, you must not spoil your mood and do another question wrong. The next questions may be easy. Okay, don't get yourself worked up and tensed because it will spoil the rest of your paper. Be calm. If some question is bothering you, leave it halfway, go to the next. You will get marks for steps. You will get marks for writing formulas. Write the given, write the formulas. If you complete all sections in half an hour, you have half an hour at the end to complete the remaining questions. But again, when you reach, you have completed and you have half an hour, the first 5 minutes should be spent for checking all the question numbers, because how if your answers are right, you got the question number wrong or the section wrong or you didn't write the question number, you get 0 marks. And that's the worst thing that can happen. So please spend 5 minutes. This is very important to check all the question numbers. While checking this, you might find questions that you may have accidentally skipped. Some questions are just one line. If you see volume of a sphere is this, find the radius. It's just one sentence you may have missed while going through the paper. So if you go by question numbers, you will come across these. And most important, also, in the end, if you have left space, an entire page, and you didn't fill it, you did not write anything on it, cut it out. Write PTO, which means please turn over at the end if it's not your last page, okay? Or write continued on next page, because if you leave, imagine 2 pages blank or 1 page towards the end blank, the examiner might not turn over thinking your paper is over. I have seen this happen to students in the school pre-board paper, where they left 2 pages blank or accidentally flipped 2 pages together. The teacher did felt that the student completed the paper and did not correct the rest, the last answer. So if it happens in board, you will never know. So cut it out and write PTO or to be continued on the next page if it is not the last blank page. Okay, if you have continued your paper ahead. So Be careful about all these things, question numbers, blank pages. Don't get tensed. If you get tensed, you will not be able to perform to the best of your ability. It's okay if you don't get the entire paper right. Not everybody is a 100% student. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be calm. If you're not calm, you will not be able to present yourself well. Do the best in what you can. Do not get worked up. All the best. If you have any doubts in any particular question, please do ask in the comments.